Hello students, I welcome you all to third lecture of chapter number 5, that is playing with numbers. Till now we have studied about expressing a number in general form, some properties of squared numbers, and we also solved some puzzles, and we saw how or whether a number is divisible by 2 and 3. Now let's move ahead. So we will see whether a number is divisible by 4 or not. So for any given number to be divisible by 4, the last two digits, the number formed by its last two digits must be divisible by 4. So what I want to say is, as you can see in this example, our number is 1568 164. Its last two digit is 64. So this 64 should be divisible by 4, right? You need not have to check by dividing this entire number by 4. You just have to see the last two digits of any number, whether it is divisible by 4 or not. If it is divisible by 4, the number formed by its last two digits, if it is divisible by 4, then your entire number will be divisible by 4. So the simple reason behind this is, we will consider any three digit number, say ABC, and so you can write ABC as 100A plus 10B plus C, right? And so you can say that this 100A is already divisible by 4. Or if your digit if your number was ABCD, so you can write ABCD as, right? You can write this, if you would have considered any four digit numbers, suppose ABCD, so you can write this ABCD as 1000A plus 100B, right? This 1000A is also divisible by 4, and this 100B is also divisible by 4. What you just have to check is the last two digits, right? Whether the number formed by these last two digits is divisible by 4 or not. So for any number to be divisible by 4, the last two digits, that is 10B plus C, or this 10C plus D, this must be divisible by 4 for the number to get divided by 4, right? So moving ahead, we will see whether number is divisible by 5 or not. For any number to be divisible by 5, the digit at the units placed must be 0 or 5. Let, let's see why did this happen. Why is this happening? Consider any three digit number, say again ABC. So we can write ABC as 100A plus 10B plus C. You can see that 100A is divisible by 5, right? Because 100A is a multiple of 5, right? This 100 is divisible by 5. In the same way, this 10B is also divisible by 5, just because this 10 is divisible by 5, right? So for C to get divided by 5, C must be 0 or 5, right? And C is our last digit of the number, so we can say that at the end, or at the units place, we should have a 0 or 5, right? Now moving to divisibility by 6. So for any given number to be divisible by 6, it must be divisible by both 2 and 3, right? So if you want to check whether a given number is divisible by 6, you have to remember the divisibility rule for 2 and 3. So here in this example, you can see that 156642 is divisible by 6. How can I say that? First of all, you have to see whether this number 156642 is divisible by 2 or not. Clearly, at its units place, we have 2, which is even, so we can say that it is divisible by 2. And for 3, we will add the digits of this number, so you will get 1 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2, right? You will get is 24. So clearly you can see that 24 is divisible by 3, right? So this number 156642, it is divisible by both 2 and 3, and hence it is divisible by 6 also. Now we will see whether a given number is divisible by 8 or not. I have left 7, divisibility rule of 7. We will discuss the divisibility of 7 at the end of the chapter or the end of the slide, as it is not given in your syllabus. So for any number to be divisible by 8, the numbers formed or the number formed by its last 3 digits must be divisible by 4, must be divisible by 8, right? uh, See, this is similar to checking the divisibility of a number by 4. While checking the divisibility of a number by 4, you were checking whether the last 2 digits were divisible by 4 or not. But in this case, in the case of 8, you will see whether the last 3 digits are divisible by 8 or not. The numbers formed by last 3 digits is divisible by 8 or not. Clearly you can see that 432 is the last 3 digit, right? So the number formed by these last 3 digits are 432, and clearly this 432 is divisible by 8, right? 8 5 is a 40, 3 times 3 to 8 4 is a 32, right? So quotient that you will get is 54, and the remainder here will be 0. That's why this number 8,96,432 is divisible by 8. Moving ahead, divisibility by 9. So for a given number to be divisible by 9, the sum of its digits must be divisible by 9. This is same as checking the divisibility of a number by 3. In 3 also we were saying that the sum must be divisible by 3. The sum of digits must be divisible by 3. And in the case of 9 also, we will say that the sum of digits must be divisible by 9, right? For example, you can see I have taken a number here that is 946134. If you add up the digits, you will get 27, which is divisible by 9. Or if you further add 27 in this way as 2 plus 7, you will get 9, which is again divisible by 9. So the reason behind this is, again, you will consider any 3 digit number, say xyz. So you can write xyz as 100x plus 10y plus z, and so you can write 100x as 99x plus x, right? As in the same way, in the same manner, you can write 100 as 99 plus 1, right? In the same way, I have written over here 100x as 99x plus x, and in the same way you can write 10y as 9y plus y, right? You can write 10 as 9 plus 1, right? So I have written 10y as 9y plus y, and I will keep z as it is. So if you take 9 common, you will get 9 times 11x plus y, and you will be left with x plus y plus z. So you can clearly see here that this 9 times 11x plus y is divisible by 9, right? So for our last number, that is x plus y plus z, that is the sum of these 3 digits, it must be divisible by 9, right? For the complete number to be divisible by 9, or the complete number to get divided by 9. See, what one thing that you have to remember is that every number which is divisible by 9 will also be divisible by 3, but every number that is divisible by 3 may not be divisible by 9. Just for example, suppose 27, right? It is divisible by both 3 and 9, right? It is divisible by 9 also, it is divisible by 3 also, but if you take 24, it is only divisible by 3, but it is not divisible by 9, right? So if any number is divisible by 9, it will also be divisible by 3, because 3 is a factor of 9, right? And if any number is divisible by 3, it is not compulsory that it will also be divisible by 9. So moving next, we will see divisibility by 10. So for a given number to be divisible by 10, the digit at the units placed must be 0, right? The number present at the unit place must be 0. So example, you can see 45, 30, 230, 80, 10, 50, whatever. You can write any number, just place a 0 at the end, and that number will be divisible by 10. So the reason behind this is, let us consider any 3-digit number, say xyz. So you can write 100x as 100, sorry, you can write xyz as 100x plus 10y plus z, right? So 100x is divisible by 10 because 100x is a multiple of 10. The same way 10y is divisible by 10, and now we are left with z only. So z must be 0 for the number to get divided by 10, right? So z is the digit at the units place, so z must be 0. Now moving to the last topic of your textbook, that is divisibility by 11. See, for any given number to be divisible by 11, it is important that the difference between the sum of the digits at even place and sum of the digits present at odd place must be divisible by 11, or it should be 0, right? Let's simplify this thing. Suppose I have taken a number here, that is 46, 45, 3. So the digits which are at odd places, I have highlighted it, right? That is 4, 4 and 3. These are the digits at odd place, right? And 6 and 5 are the digits at even place. So when you add the digits at odd place and even place and subtract them, the result should be 0, or it should be divisible by 11, right? For example, here, if you add 4 plus 4 plus 3, you will get 11, and if you add 6 plus 5, you will get 11. So you can see that if you subtract them, you will get 0, right? So let's see why is this happening. Consider any 4-digit number, say ABCD. So ABCD can be written as 1000A plus 100B plus 10C plus D, right? If I add A to this equation and subtract A from this equation, it won't make any difference, right, in this equation. So what I just did is I added A and subtracted A, right? It will again become 0, so it won't make any difference. So if you see that if you add 1000A and A, you will get 1001A, right? And in the same way, you can write 100B as 99B plus B, and you can write 10C as 11C minus C. Why? Because you can write 10 as 11 minus 1. There are I know there are many ways to write a number, but we are doing this just for the sake of simplicity, or we want to prove something. That's why we are doing this. So what you will get is 1000A plus 99B plus 11C plus B plus D minus C minus A, right? I'll take 11 common. So what you will get is 11 times 91A plus 9B plus C, and you will be left with B plus D. If I take negative sign common from minus C and minus A, what you will get is minus times inside the bracket C plus A, right? So you can see this 11 times 91a plus 9b plus c is divisible by 11. So for the number to be divided by 11, this b plus d minus c plus a, it must be divisible by 11 or it should be 0, right? So this b plus d minus c plus a, you can see that b plus d is the digit sum of digits at even places, right? And this c plus a or a plus c is the sum of digit at even places, right? This b plus d is the sum of digits at odd places, and this a plus c is the sum of digits at even places, right? So the difference should be divisible by 11 or it should be 0 for a number to get divided by 11. Now we have completed the chapter, but uh, just go through these two slides. As I told you that we will talk about the divisibility by 7, right? So for any number to be divisible by 7, what you have to do is you have to double the digit present at the units place and subtract it from the remaining number, right? For example, in 672, 2 is present at units place. You have to double this 2, and after doubling you will get 4, right? You have to subtract 4 from the 67, so you will get 63. Clearly you can see that 63 is divisible by 7. So this is a way so you can find whether a number is divisible by 7 or not. But just try to apply this trick up to 3 digit number only, or at least 4 digit number, because after that the division method gets longer. Right, now moving to last, that is divisibility by 12. This is also not in your syllabus, but for the sake of knowledge, just keep this thing in mind. So for a number to be divisible by 12, the number must be divisible by both 3 and 4. This is same as divisibility by 6, right? And while checking a number whether it is divisible by 6 or not, we was checking that that number must be divisible by 2 and 3 both. The same way, if we have to check whether whether any given number is divisible by 12 or not, just you just have to do is you have to check whether that number is divisible by 3 and 4, right? It should be divisible by 3 and 4 both, right? You can see that 648 is divisible by 3 and 4. How? See, 648, if you add the digits, right, you will get 18, right? 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 is divisible by 4, and the last two digits, that is 48, right? This 48 is divisible by 4. That's why our given number 648 is divisible by 12. But in 524, you can see that the last two digits is 24. This 24 is divisible by 4, but if you add up these digits, right, 5 plus 2 plus 4, you will get 11, right? This 11 is not divisible by 3, but the last two digits are divisible by 4. So you can clearly see that for any number to be get divided by 12, it must be divisible by both 3 and 4. So now you are all set to solve the exercise questions, the remaining exercise questions. In the next class we will discuss those questions, and we are done with our chapter. So try solving the exercise questions. All the best.